And my speakers are all ready. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a good lunch and are feeling re-energized for this afternoon session. My name is Sara Venturini. I'm the Chief of Member Services at the GEO Secretariat, and it is my great pleasure to moderate this session. In my role at the GEO Secretariat, I really have the privilege of working closely with our 117 GEO member countries and the 4 regional GEOs. And over the years, I have learned a great deal from these collaborations. And today, we would like to share some of those experiences with you. And this session will highlight how members and regional GEOs are helping shape priorities, mobilize investments, and turn Earth intelligence into real operational impact through the GEO program and beyond. So building on the previous panel, we've heard important achievements, progress from the various GEO program initiatives. This discussion will instead focus on the way forward. What can we expect from our members and regional GEOs? So this afternoon, we will hear concrete examples of investment, initiatives, new partnerships, and regional coordination efforts that are strengthening the implementation across the GEO community altogether. So let me introduce the speakers, the brilliant speakers of this session. On my left, Dr. Matthew Adepoju, Director General of the National Space Research and Development Agency, Nigeria. Welcome, Dr. Matthew. Melanie Ramirez, Director of Geospatial Analysis and Climate Change at the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources of Guatemala. Welcome. And Thibault Valentin, Policy Officer at the Space Cooperation Directorate General for International Partnership at the DG INPA of the European Commission. Welcome, Thibault. And on my right, I have Dr. Dirk Engelbart, Director of the Division of Meteorology and German Meteorological Service of the Federal Ministry of Transport, Germany. Welcome. Another Melanie Hutchinson, International Geospatial Lead at the Department for Science, Innovation and Technology of the United Kingdom. Welcome, Melanie. And Professor Xiaoan Liao, Director General of the Key Laboratory of Low Altitude Geographic Information and Air Routes at the Civil Aviation Administration of China under the Chinese Academy of Sciences, China. Welcome, Professor Liao. So, as the previous session, we will begin with a panel discussion that will be very interesting and inspiring. And this will be followed by about 20 to 25 minutes for intervention and questions from the floor. So you know the drill. I will let you know when the floor is open, but keep your ears peeled. There will be a lot of interesting insights. So prepare your questions for these speakers. So, like I said, this session is building on the previous session where we heard achievements and progress from the GEO Work Program initiatives, and also about ambitions. Now, I would like to turn to the governments and partners that are helping make many of these efforts possible through long-term support and investment. So let me begin with Germany. Dirk. Germany has been a long-standing supporter of GEO and GEO initiatives, particularly around sustainable land management, agriculture, and so on. So from your perspective, what makes these international partnerships effective in translating scientific knowledge into real-world impact?
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Sarah. Yes, in fact, translating knowledge, scientific knowledge into real-world impact is a general challenge. And to cope with this challenge, robust methods are, to my understanding, needed to bring science into operational application and to achieve a positive impact and efficient results under different boundary conditions. In this regards, I would like to highlight some aspects which are, to my understanding, quite important to achieve this goal on the ground. And I believe further that GEO initiatives are great examples for this. The first aspect I'd like to highlight, a high-level call or mandate, which is generally, to my understanding, being very helpful to successfully launch any initiative and engage relevant stakeholders. Let me explain a bit. For example, when a UN organization calls for a GEO support, for a certain task or challenge, this is, from my point of view, a great opportunity to open doors and gives a GEO initiative an outstanding relevance. GEO-LDN, for example, is such an example, to my understanding, for this, because here UNCCD, on behalf of its member states, had originally contacted GEO because they themselves had an important mandate related to sustainable development goals on land. And they had a problem to solve, and they knew that Earth observation is needed as part of the solution. This was the basis for attracting financial support on the one hand, forming a competent team on the other hand, and building solutions that really meet user needs, and being recognized as very and highly relevant in many countries. Moreover, at the UNCCD COPs, this mandate was repeatedly renewed and concretized. A second aspect would be that real users are essential to transform scientific expertise into concrete results with the help of practical methods and tools. And users and providers need to be in close dialogue in this context, so they know from each other on the one hand, and what they need to do and what the opportunities are. Only based on this kind of dialogue, scientists can develop tools that answer the question that really matter in a way that all users need. It is one of GEO's key strengths to bring together here in the political level, like me, Earth observation experts and users from all over the world. The third aspect, which I'd like to highlight, is broad international partnership, which is another vital aspect that GEO supports. Global environmental problems can here and therefore must be addressed only by genuine international efforts and cooperation. It is here my firm belief that this is the only way where we can successfully make real progress. And therefore, Germany remains committed to multilateralism and partnership of equals. GEO's initiative on sustainable land management, such as GEO-GLAM and/or GEO-LDN, made already and still make relevant contributions in this sense. But let me also mention in this context the European Copernicus program, already mentioned several times this morning, being strongly supported by Germany as well. And Copernicus here is dedicated not only to provide free and open satellite imagery to all of us, but also the Copernicus services, contributing importantly to global activities. For example, the Copernicus land monitoring service, which actively contributes to both, but not only, but to both, namely GEO-GLAM and GEO-LDN. And the final aspect, which I name, is sustainability, which is a very important aspect for GEO flagships, such as GEO-GLAM, GEO-LDN, and surely also for all the others. And this is a real challenge. Not only, but in particular, financial support is usually being granted just for a period of a few years. And in times, however, when public budgets are under high pressure, this is also the case in Germany, like nowadays, it's of utmost importance, to my understanding, to identify activities that are not only highly successful, but only to the full extent relevant. These kind of activities need to be secured and further developed. And let us never forget in this context that the GEO flagships and initiatives also already now provide proven value to users, and we should therefore try all to strengthen them by continued international cooperation and partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you, Dirk. Yes, all your points are extremely relevant. I would like to emphasize the first point that you made, the mandate to the UN conventions that in fact gives the relevance to these initiatives, and everything trickles down from there. The partnership gets created more easily, the expertise gets gathered to respond to a particular need from an international point of view that gets applied at the regional and local level. So thank you for that insight. And I'm sure from the audience, we will hear more. This year is the year of the Conference of the Parties of the 3 Rio Conventions. So there's the UNCCD, there's the UNFCCC, and the CBD as well. And the GEO work program tries to respond to all these mandates. So moving on to, well, another long-standing GEO supporter, the United Kingdom. Melanie, the UK has also been really keen on GEO and GEO initiatives spanning biodiversity, food security, digital innovation as well, and Pacific small island developing states. So tell me, honestly, why did the UK invest in GEO in the first place? And why this is still relevant for you? How these different investments can be leveraged to make it a real impact on the ground? Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah, for inviting me onto this panel, and also for the question. I think it works very well. In fact, almost your summary piece, Dirk, was around that value to users and that proven value to users. And I think that's where we see it very much from the UK perspective when we're looking at the programs that we would invest in moving forwards. And so that's sort of where I'm going to pitch a lot of what I'm going to say is around that why, and that link directly back to the UK from the investments that we're making. So as you said, we've worked with GEO over many years, welcoming and acknowledging the commitment to the global collaboration for the good of people and planet. Also recognising the importance of Earth observations, more than half of the climate variables being measured from space, and that work on the development of biodiversity indicators using Earth observations, something that UK research institutions are really pleased to be at the forefront of. So for the UK government, the investments made in GEO initiatives actually support a lot of our UK government priorities connected with resilience. Such as biosecurity, food security, and extreme weather, as well as supporting economic growth. This sort of fact connecting with economic growth is coming from a report from the UK Office of National Statistics that has estimated the annual direct flow of benefits from nature to the UK economy that we can currently measure is £36 billion, which is a little over $48 billion US. So that's an annual figure. So when nature weakens, economic growth weakens, and resilience weakens with it. A recent paper funded by our Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs identified a lot of the clear benefits of investing in improved monitoring of international biodiversity and agriculture, and that this contributes to resilience and security. So to quote quickly from the report, global ecosystem degradation and collapse threaten UK national security and prosperity. The world is already experiencing impacts, including crop failures, intensified natural disasters, and infectious disease outbreaks. Threats will increase with degradation and intensify with collapse. Without major intervention to reverse the current trend, this is highly likely to result in water insecurity, severely reduced crop yields, and a global reduction in arable land, fisheries collapse, changes to global weather patterns, novel zoonotic diseases, and loss of pharmaceutical resources. So that's very much a huge driver for us. So with this recognition, the UK has invested in 4 GEO programs over time, alongside the ongoing technical and coordination contributions made across many others by our experts. So the 4 programs I'll just have a quick look at, and sort of the rationales for why the UK has invested are GeoGLAM, the Geo Ecosystem Atlas, GeoBon, and Digital Earth Pacific. In terms of GeoGLAM, the UK recognises this G20 initiative ensuring a resilient and healthy food system by enabling the effective monitoring and timely early warning. This is important to the UK, given that we have a reliance on imports for quite a lot of our food security, and also fertilizers. It also recognises that countries are best placed to adapt to those that invest in ecosystem protection and restoration and resilient and efficient food systems. So therefore, we've welcomed the effective use of our funding in GEOGLAM over the last 6 years, which has seen the growth of the programme with its increased coverage and capacity development initiatives. So this contribution of GEOGLAM to global food security underpins UK national security, as well as global security more broadly. To come on to GEOBON, with a focus on scientific collaboration and ensuring that essential biodiversity variables are both standardised and monitored, this can inform the decisions and actions that we need to restore and steward nature. For the UK, protecting and restoring nature isn't just an environmental necessity. We recognise that it's essential for our security, our economy and our future. By connecting the research scientists from across the globe who are working on GEOBON, the UK is able to collaborate globally and undertake knowledge exchange that supports our own policy development and reporting and engagement with the Convention on Biological Diversity. The Geo-Ecosystem Atlas. By supporting the Atlas, we're able to embed scientific expertise and priorities within global standards used by the CBD, the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, and also the Convention on Illegal Trade in Endangered Species. The project is vital to ensuring that we have the tools to monitor and compare biodiversity at a global scale, and vital to delivering the Global Biodiversity Framework. So for DEFRA, as the responsible government department for these treaties, the Atlas will also provide better monitoring of our own overseas development assistance programmes. So finally, Digital Earth Pacific, we've provided support here through our Blue Planet Fund, which was established to protect the marine environment and reduce poverty. The approach of Digital Earth Pacific in monitoring how environments are changing over time through the use of satellite data enables small island developing states, governments and communities to better understand and respond to the impacts of climate change, corresponding to the aims of Blue Planet and what we are aiming at. So thus, in summary, the UK has invested in these GEO programmes, recognising a number of things. Global collaboration is incredibly valuable to make the best use of data, considering that food security and biodiversity restoration are significant global challenges. These are becoming more pressing in light of the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss and pollution, and in times of geopolitical instabilities. The UK sees a direct benefit from engagement with these efforts in supporting domestic, environmental and biodiversity reporting priorities, and in terms of national resilience, economic growth, and improving the lives of citizens. It also recognises the importance of their focus on preventing ecosystem collapse as part of ensuring a stable global environmental and economic future. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Melanie. It is really important and encouraging to hear that the UK greatly values their investment in GEO, and these facts and figures that you cited are really essential to help us measure this value across the key sectors that are important for you and for many others, of course, in this room. Now, advancing GEOs naturally calls for more than financial contributions alone. We also need institutional coordination, technical infrastructure, the ability to connect national capabilities with global priorities. So with that in mind, I want to hear another perspective, and I'm turning to China. Professor Liao, China has been taking steps to promote the GEO program by bringing together the government, project-based support, institutional capacity, and engagement from multiple departments, but also private sector. So can you share your experience in coordinating all these different forms of support?
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Well, it's my honor to speak and make some of the information and here. And China believes that the GEO work program in particular is a key vehicle for advancing the goal of Earth intelligence for, and its effective implementation requires coordinated efforts from government, institution, and relevant technical community. And in particular, government play an important role in providing not only policy support, but also project-based investment, creating stable mechanism among the different government agencies, and also resources for geo-related collaboration. And for research institution and enterprise, both public and private, and technology partner, in turn, help translate this arrangement into concrete technical compatibility, computing service in particular, and application support, while contributing to data service and planned for development and also translation of outcome into practice. As GEO moves into its third decade, and the goal of Earth intelligence for all place a higher demand on data processing, intelligence analysis, and application-oriented service. So better connecting project mechanisms, data resources, computing capacity, and the user needs is therefore an important foundation for enabling Earth intelligence to support decision-making and action. With this understanding, China is continue its support to GEO. And here, I just take this moment, a few minutes, just making a share to the case. First, the funding support. In line with this goal of GEO Earth Intelligence 4, China has established the funding project under its current existing intergovernmental international science, technology, and innovation cooperation program, but exclusively to support the GEO's work program activities, including agriculture monitoring, human planet initiative, and the nighttime light remote sensing, etc. These projects provide funding support for research development, travel, training, meeting, and related activity, both for people in China and also international collaboration partners participating in this project. Just for information sharing, previously in 2019 and 2021, China invested a total of domestic renminbi 132 million through a relevant program to support 2 rounds of 30 GEO-related international cooperation projects. In fact, the 30 GEO work program project. And this project have strongly promoted like data sharing, technology development, and capacity building, and also application demonstration under the GEO framework. So looking ahead for the third decade, China will continue to provide the project-based and institutional support to help GEO program outcome better serve global sustainable development. Actually, we are now working with the GEO secretariats on how to finalize our arrangement with the third round of the project. We initially started currently about dozens of the GEO work program, and it has been actually mentioned, announced during the Rome plenary, and most recently, this will be finally, and the money, actually the project will be finally decided. Second, computing capacity support, particularly during the AI year, and computing time is very important. The capacity is very important. Computing capacity is an important foundation for transformation Earth observational data into Earth intelligence. So it's also a key compatibility for large-scale remote sensing data processing, artificial intelligence model training, multi-source data fusion and analysis. And it's the generation of knowledge service. So over the next decade, China plans, and also there's also a very good arrangement with the GEO secretariat and also domestic research institution and enterprise, and will provide 35 million GPU card hours of intelligent and tailored computing service through China Computing Network for geo work program activity and user with relevant need. This contribution will help support high quality development in areas such as global change, ecological and environmental monitoring, biodiversity monitoring, and land resource management, etc. So at the present, China is working with the GEO Secretary, as I mentioned before, to develop an implementing plan. We hope this will channel through GEO Secretary and the resource can be distributed orderly. So we will strive to provide sustained, inclusive, and efficient computing capacity support for all parties within the GEO community, helping more developing countries and users lower the barriers to accessing and applying advanced Earth observation technology. Okay, because of time, I just stop here. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Liao. We are really happy to hear that, of course, China is advancing investments at the national level that support the mission of GEO, and that you are looking into this opportunity to share computing capacity, cloud resources with the community. So thank you so much for that. Looking forward to hearing more about that. We know that this is a need from the community. We heard it many times over the last couple of days, so very appreciated. That gives me the cue to move to my left and to shift to the regional dimension. Regional geos are really where many partnerships become operational, where the global priorities are implemented and aligned with the local level, and where we can accelerate impact on the ground. So in that context, I would like to turn to Nigeria. Dr. Matthew, Nigeria will host the 10th AfriGeo Symposium later this year. We have seen that hosting events like this can really help strengthen national coordination on Earth observation and leave a lasting legacy as well in the country. Is this already happening in Nigeria? And do you see this also happening more at the regional level, strengthening collaboration across AfriGeo and maybe bringing the African priorities to the global fore?
Thank you very much, Sarah, for this question. To the esteemed colleagues and partners and members of the GEO community, well, it's with great honor for me to speak about our preparation for the hosting of the 10th AfriGeo Symposium, scheduled to happen between the 4th and 8th of October 2026 in Abuja, Nigeria. And at this point, at this juncture, let me warmly welcome Togo, the government of Togo on behalf of Nigeria, for joining Group on Earth Observation. And of course, I carefully listened to the comment and the statement from Togo that they want to be good regional partners. So AfriGeo is warmly happy to receive Togo. And of course, Nigeria is working very closely with AfriGeo Secretariat and of course the GEO Secretariat in Geneva here in our preparation to host the 10th AfriGeo Symposium. And of course, this is very, very impactful, and it's a part of the strategic coordination mechanism for Nigeria priority in the area of application of Earth observation. And it is very interesting to inform you that Nigeria has mainstreamed the Earth observation solutions into many of our strategic thematic areas, from climate change to environment and then disaster risk reduction, as well as precision agriculture. And this led to quite a lot of international partnership. We have the support of EU in the climate smart agriculture. And of course, NASA, as the space agency, is the anchor for Nigerian preparation for the EU deforestation regulations. And one of the mechanisms we are using for that is the use of the Earth observation imageries to make sure that the forestry for cocoa production and some other cash crop is not coming from cutting down the forest. So the opportunities that is available for us is enormous. And in the same vein, the agency has launched 7 satellites in total. Out of these 7 satellites, 4 of them are Earth observation and 2 communication, 1 research. And currently, we've gotten approval. We are at the advanced stage of 4 new satellites. And these 4 new satellites, they are Earth observation, 1 synthetic aperture radar at 1 meter resolution, and 3 optical satellites at sub-meter, 0.5 meter resolution. Of course, this will be part of the resources that we make available for African countries, and it will be deployed for all the aspects of sustainable development goal, which is very, very important to us. And my president already charged us to make sure that the space technology plays a critical role in its desire to make Nigeria $1 trillion economy annually by 2030. That's why we are investing hugely in the Earth observation satellite, because we know the contribution of Earth observation satellite in economic activities is enormous. It's not only for social impact, but for economic impact. And I believe our membership of GEO since 2022 in Ghana that I attended GEO, I've seen the great impact and opportunities of networking and meeting like minds. We benefited greatly from Digital Health Africa capacity building that was conducted for some of our scientists, some of our initiative in partnership with the Chinese Academy of Science, which has to do with crop wash, is helping our farmers and is helping us to make sure that issue of food security is dealt with appropriately. I think at this juncture, I will just stop here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Matthew. This is really encouraging and inspiring to hear that Nigeria has benefited, but is also ready to give back to the community in Africa and beyond. So staying with the regional perspective, I would like now to move to the Americas and invite Guatemala to share its perspective. So Melanie, Guatemala is also renewing its engagement in GEO and will host AmeriGeo Week later in 2026. How do you see this as an opportunity to strengthen national and regional collaboration across the Americas and bring greater visibility to the priorities of your country and in general of the region?
Thank you, Sarah, for the question. AmeriGeo Week, we see it as a special opportunity. And also, as Guatemala, we see it with honor and as a way that we can contribute with the investigation, the research that we're doing in the region. AmeriGeo Week has become synonymous of collaboration. It's one of the main spaces where countries, institutions, technical communities, academia, and cooperation can contribute, but also can exchange experience, build partnerships, and form alliances, but also form these alliances with shared interests we have. Guatemala hosting AmeriGeo is a great opportunity, and we see it as a platform that can be helpful and can move regional priorities forward, not only through dialogue, but also by identifying concrete areas of cooperation. We see it as how can we launch local, national, but also regional initiatives to respond to the needs of our country. As you know, our region faces common and environmental and climate challenges, including climate variability, extreme events, forest loss, but also water security and biodiversity conservation. And these challenges are shared across borders. They don't limit between country or country, and therefore they require longer or stronger collaboration, better data integration, and also more coordinated use of Earth observation. From Guatemala perspective, AmeriGeo can be strengthened regional collaboration and also in two important ways. First, we can help connect countries but also institutions that are working on similar challenge. Across the America, many members are developing tools, platforms, and systems related to environmental information, climate services, but also forest monitoring. And we see a Merigeo Week that can provide a space to share lessons or learn lessons and identify opportunities for collaboration. And the other way is to help to promote interoperability. We see it as that, and data integration. One of the main challenges that we see or that we face is not only producing information, but also ensuring that data can be shared or connected and used effectively across institutions and countries. And to finish us, this is essential because we wanted to make decisions based on evidence. So we are promoting this in this Merigeo. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie, and thanks for sharing the shared challenges. Is there anything in particular that you're looking to promote
Yes,
at the national level?
Thank you, Sarah. We see this as a great opportunity because at Guatemala, we are creating the Guatemalan environmental system known as CIA, it's in Spanish, and we are preparing to launch this CIA next month. But for us, the CIA is very important because I'm sorry, I'm mixing Spanish with English. We are see it as an important effort because it responds to many challenges of integrating information. We often have different information across the institutions, sectors, and formats and platforms. So the CIA is being developed to a platform that can integrate information. We want to organize, visualize, and also share environmental information, but not just at national level, but we're seeing CIA that came true to all the region, and also be a platform to the Central America information. In that sense, one of the Guatemala interests is to explore how the CIA eventually can connect to other environmental systems of the region. And we can share geospatial information systems. We can share information that can be used to do decisions in the region. And through Merigeo, Guatemala could share the experience with the CIA. Also, we see it as that, and learn from other countries that are developing similar platforms. Also, we can explore possible regional connections between information systems, and the goal is not necessary to create a single one system in the region, but what we wanted to do is to promote interoperability, common standards, and collaboration among existing national systems. For Guatemala, just to conclude, promoting the CIA through Merigeo is about contributing to a broader regional conversation. And just to do these questions for everyone, how can we promote or how can we move from data generation to data integration? Thank you.
Thank you. So you've heard the question. I'm going to come back to you with that question. And I want to highlight that GEO really has an important role to play in strengthening this intra-regional cooperation and connecting this effort globally. So I'm sure that many members will be interested, and many are already contributing to this through concrete investments and partnership mechanisms. So I'm looking at Thibault from the European Union. The Commission has supported GEO through long-term funding for coordination initiatives, also the Secretariat. So this really has helped the collaboration across the community, across regions. So from your perspective, what types of support and partnerships are most important? What else needs to be done? What's new in your space?
Thank you, Sarah. It relates very much to the question that Melanie just asked about data integration. So apart from the obvious direct and indirect contribution from the European Union to GEO, we have that my colleagues from DG RTD can talk about in much more detail than I can. The Director General responsible for international partnerships heavily contribute to the objectives of GEO as well. it's an indirect contribution, but most of our initiatives are about ensuring that our partner countries can be self-reliant in terms of data usage, data uptake, and in the creation of services. So that partially answers to the question about data integration. So these initiatives are mostly in line with GEO's objectives, notably the one about advancing open knowledge, which is one of the main goals of course, the knowledge hub of GEO. So we tackle this part for the reproduction of analysis. It tackles the support to decision-making, because indeed, if you want to ensure, you want partners to be able to integrate the data and turn it into actionable information, and to create the right policy, you need to ensure data is understood. So authoritative information is key, and that's what we aim to do in our different cooperation initiatives. Now, the key drivers of the EU space cooperation with partner countries are mostly disaster risk reduction, which reflects on the GEO solution on weather, hazard, and disaster resilience. And the other one would be, the other driver of our cooperation is mostly on land management, be it forest monitoring, land degradation, smart agriculture, and this reflects on the GEO solution on climate, energy, urbanization. So we have many services, part of different initiatives that are being co-created with our partners, among which I can mention the 100 million euro initiatives with our African partners, the Africa-EU Space Partnership Program, which is phased in 2 sequences. I don't know if you can hear me well with the sound. I'll speak closer to the mic. So this initiative is building on 3 different pillars. One of them is the green pillar, focusing on African autonomy in generating green services. The first sequence started with the project focusing on early warning, called Strengthening Early Warning in Africa, with other international organizations as implementers, such as ICMWF, EUMETSAT, and the AUC, for the continental coordination, which is of course key. And the other aspect in the second phase that I cannot talk about too much because it's still in the process of being negotiated. We are also going to tackle these green services in different areas. In different services. So we're focusing, there will be agriculture, ocean governance, forest monitoring as well. Land degradation is a big part as well. So still to be determined, but this is the main ideas we have still in the pipeline. So we'll be able to share more details in the future. Then regarding Asia Pacific, we started small with a cooperation initiative with the Philippines, where we had the chance to have infrastructure and capacity building. We built a Copernicus mirror site in Manila, and we're in the process of regionalizing it to the ASEAN level. So we developed 3 different kind of services, of course, reflecting on GEO priorities and objectives. We have one focusing on DR with ground motion monitoring, which is a huge concern, not only for the Philippines, but for the entire region. And we also have one on ocean governance, focusing on ocean biodiversity in coastal waters, and a last one on forest monitoring, crop monitoring of secondary crops, because our colleagues from Japan are already having extensive collaboration with the Philippines for notably rice crop monitoring and how to protect them and secure population's livelihood when we have a disaster occurring to these crops. The reason we're regionalizing it and the reason we have this huge program with Africa at continental level is because we believe that region to region and regional cooperation is the one that has the most impact. By this, I mean, we need to reach the right threshold to ensure that we have the right person, the right institution, and that it lands in the right area, and that we can implement the right solutions. Easier at regional level because you have more capacity, better absorption rates, and the knowledge is sure to be, it's easier to do knowledge transfer, and for the long-term sustainability of our action, it also makes more sense. So it's intra-regional when we cooperate, and from region to region. I think that's one of the key parts. Thank you.
Thank you, Thibault. Very interesting. I'm sure that our members would like to know how to access all these funding and opportunities and new programs and how that really connects with the GEO initiatives, but I'll leave that for later. I want to really go back to the question from Guatemala. You heard there is a specific need in that region. Do you have any instrument or initiative that can address that?
Yeah, for sure. It so happens that we have the right tools in Latin America and the Caribbean. We have already implemented 2 Copernicus centers, one in Panama, one in Chile, that are tackling some of the issues that you've raised. And this has been confirmed by an event that took place, I think last September in Guatemala, in Antigua City. It was a policy dialogue on Earth observation with a heavy participation from the UN member states. And basically the outcome was the same that you described. There's this, one of the main aspect that we need to deal with is the interoperability, and to ensure that there's an institutionalization of the services. So they're anchored with the right institution and the right partners. So for Copernicus in Latin America and the Caribbean, we already have some solution that focus on DOR. Thanks to the center we have in Panama. It's mostly on meteorological hazards, wildfire, geological hazards as well, and exposure maps. This also builds on infrastructure. It's not so much of we don't have per se a data center, but we have infrastructure as a service. And in Chile, we do have an infrastructure component with a data center. But in Chile, we focus on the land management aspect. Again, as I said, this is what drives the EU cooperation with our partners. For this one, it's on land degradation and urban atlas. So that reflects on the GEO objective regarding urbanization, which can be used also as part of the global heat mapping. So we are tackling these aspects, and overall, GEO serves as a very good enabler and connector. So we contribute to these efforts, but it's also we benefit from GEO because this is how we reach out, and and happy to discuss later how the different projects can be accessed by other partners. Thank you.
Thank you, and I sure hope you can attend EmeryGeo Week so you can explore these opportunities with all the countries in the region, and AfriGeo Symposium as well. So thanks for all these insights, an example of collaboration in action. I now would like to move to another quick but important part of this session before going to the interventions from the floor. I would like to give the floor back to all our members for a quick round of commitments, announcements, opportunities, calls for action. And I am starting with Germany to share an announcement with the GEO community. Dirk.
Thanks again, Sarah. Yes, Germany is in this context pleased to announce its continued support to the GEO Land Degradation Neutrality flagship, GEO-LDN, now for another 2 years until October 28. And here the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development decided to support GEO-LDN with an additional amount of 2 million euros. GEO-LDN Thank you. GEO-LDN, with support of its secretariat hosted by GIZ, currently assists up to 20 countries in the Global South through tailored use cases, technical working groups, and capacity development activities. It herewith contributes to the translation of Earth intelligence and Earth observation data into practical support for countries affected by land degradation. GEO-LDN is also a great example of an action-oriented partnership, as we have already heard in the panel discussion this morning. Together with UNCCD and national partners, GEO-LDN supports countries not only in the reporting on relevant SDG indicators, but also in applying Earth observation data for evidence-based land use planning and decision-making. This includes practical support for integrated land use planning and monitoring systems. And because healthy land cannot be simply multiplied, we have to care for it so that future generations benefit just as much as we do today. Healthy land needs to be protected in a way that keeps it fertile, ensures food security, and we must do this in a climate resilient ways while simultaneously preserving biodiversity. This is indeed also fully in line with Germany's commitment to strengthening synergies between the Rio Conventions and advancing food security through international cooperation ahead of the UNCCD COP in August. GEO-LDN here pursues an integrative approach and intends to cooperate with other GEO flagships dealing with land. In this regard, Germany is proud to support this very important endeavor further on. However, let me perhaps also make a critical addition at the end here. GEO-LDN is an important multilateral activity, as I said, and we should all have a common interest in ensuring that this activity continues in the long term and continues to grow in order to reach this goal. But we not only need one or two, but several strong shoulders to support the initiative on the long term. Funding of the GEO-LDN Secretariat is now secured until 28. However, and I would exceptionally like to express thanks to my colleagues of the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. However, today, and unfortunately, I cannot tell you what will happen after 28. And I therefore believe that broad participation in the financing of GEO-LDN is very important. And I'd herein like to call up national discussions among GEO partner countries to use the upcoming 2 years now for discussions on possibilities on the future funding to GEO-LDN after 28. But before closing my remarks, please let me still wish all the GEO-LDN stakeholders great success and fruitful partnerships in the upcoming years. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dirk. Brilliant announcement. Thank you so much. We do need broad shoulders to carry GEO and the GEO World Program indeed. And I'm also giving now the floor to the UK, who is continuing its commitment across the GEO World Program. Melanie?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. As highlighted in my previous intervention, the UK has an ongoing commitment to advancing global biodiversity monitoring, crop monitoring, related capacity development, and ecosystem intelligence as part of its focus on resilience and economic growth. We're therefore pleased to confirm some new funding support over the next 3 years, going to 2 of the GEO flagship initiatives, and that will be an amount of £1.2 million to GEO-BON and also £450,000 going towards the Global Ecosystem Atlas, as well as funding we're providing to GeoGlam and Digital Earth Pacific.
Thank you.
And these investments are made recognizing the role that the programs play as a catalyst for broader global collaboration, enhancing capabilities and capacities, and supporting the commitments to the related Rio conventions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melanie. We appreciate this commitment and on behalf of the GEO World Program. Now, as Secretariat, we also have some core functions to deliver, and I'm looking at China here for some other announcement. Professor Liao.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. It's my honor again to share some of the latest information with you. Supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology, China will second 1 full-time staff at the P3 level to the GEO Secretariat in Geneva. with secondment expected to begin end of this year. Yeah.
Fantastic. To do what?
Right. And this position will be aimed at the strengthening engagement and partnership with the member state, while also reinforcing the Secretariat's operational and the coordination capacity, and in support of the GEO's implementation. Currently, the GEO Secretariat is taking an increasing range of responsibility and also is facing certain resources staffing constraint. China hopes that this contribution will provide timely and practical support to the Secretariat. Through this secondment, China aims not only to provide practical support for the day-to-day operation of the Secretariats, but also to further strengthen communication and collaboration between China, the Secretariat, GEO members, and participation organization. This will help enhance the implementation capacity and coordination efficient of the GEO's priority work. So again, I want to take this moment to express that China will hope to work hand in hand with all countries to enable GEO to provide a more open, inclusive, and sustainable Earth intelligence service in response to future challenges ahead. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Professor Liao and China, for this support. We need it very much as a secretary. As you saw, we are a small secretariat who somehow makes it happen. I see my director wants to make an urgent intervention here.
Thank you very much. And I just want to also add one note, which Professor Liao, it didn't come out as strong as I was hoping. And that is that this function really will also support the coordination of the engagement of our participating organizations within the GEO community. There is over 160 of participating organizations, and all of you represent such critical missions along various lines of missions and sectors. And we want to be sure that finally we actually have a dedicated person who can look across the family of participating organizations and leverage your capacities, your expertise, your networks to make the most of your membership, of your participation within GEO and the opportunities that the network allows you to amplify your missions. So I just want to make sure that our participating organizations and associates, in fact, knew that this additional capacity is coming thanks to your contribution.
Thank you, Jana. That is so true. And moving to my left, once again, Melanie also has a quick call for cooperation.
Yes, thank you. We want to invite all, we want to invite all the community, GEO community, to contribute to AmeriGeo Week, especially because we want, or we have ambitious goals in this event. So we want to invite all of you to contribute, not only at technical level, but also at financial level. Thank you very much, Sarah, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. The video should show a little save the date for the AmeriGeo Week, please. And this will be followed by another announcement.
Sorry, Sarah, can you give me just...
Yes, please.
Just wanted to say that the dates are from November 30 to 4 of December. We expect you there. Thank you.
Thank you. And we look forward to the opening of the registrations.
Yes.
Indeed.
Also, thank you. I forgot that. But we are launching the registration, next month. So you can be attentive to that. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make sure to share it also with the wider global community through our social media and communication channels. Now, moving on to Dr. Matthew, another quick but important announcement.
Thank you very much. In addition to our investment in the satellite infrastructure, We continue to support the GEO, most especially Nigeria GEO, AfriGEO, while I'm working on our budgeting mechanism to ease some funds to support the GEO secretariat. But in the same vein, we continue with our kind contribution, and we are hosting the AfriGEO. All of you are warmly welcome. And then we'll be very happy to show you the video of Abuja so that you see the beautiful city of Abuja. Thank you.
Welcome to Abuja, Nigeria, the vibrant capital of Africa's largest nation and proud host city to the 10th AfriGEO Symposium taking place from the 5th to the 8th of October 2026. From the moment you arrive at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja welcomes you with warmth, culture, and possibility. As you journey through the city, the landscape unfolds, the iconic city gate, the grandeur of the National Stadium, the bustling Churchgate district, the majestic Zuba Rock, and Abuja's modern skyline set against breathtaking natural scenery. A city built for diplomacy, innovation, and connection, Abuja stands at the crossroads of Africa's future. In 2026, Abuja will welcome the global GEO community under the theme, Earth Observation for a Resilient Africa. This symposium is more than an event, it is a call to action. Across Africa, Earth observation, geospatial intelligence, artificial intelligence, and space technology are helping nations build resilience from climate action and food security to disaster management and environmental protection. Because the future of Africa depends on decisions guided by data, innovation, and collaboration. At the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASDA, Nigeria continues to transform satellite data into practical solutions that improve everyday lives, strengthen communities, and protect our environment. AfriGEO 2026 will bring together governments, scientists, innovators, youth, development partners, and the global GEO community to shape practical solutions for Africa's resilience and sustainable development. Come for the science, come for the partnerships, come for the future of Earth observation in Africa. AfriGEO 2026, Earth Observation for a Resilient Africa. Register now and join us in Abuja, Nigeria, where Africa, innovation, and Earth observation meet to shape a more resilient future.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We're really inspired. I look forward to this event. And now I would like to turn to the audience for your interventions, comments, questions for our panelists. You know how it works. You have to lift your nameplates, please, and the valiant GEO Secretariat team will note down your names for interventions. I see Japan first, and then.
Yeah, thank you. Japan would like to express its appreciation to the moderator and the panelists for the very interesting and insightful discussion. As one of the leading countries in the Asia-Oceania GEO, AOGEO, Japan has been organizing the AOGEO Symposium annually with the aim of fostering the Earth observation community and promoting engagement and partnership in the region. We would like to inform you that the 18th AOGEO Symposium will be held from December 15 to 17 this year at Tsukuba, Japan. Japan will continue to work closely with AOGEO member countries to promote Earth observation activities in the Asia-Oceania region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Japan. Also looking forward to that event, of course. Next on my list is South Africa, then Mongolia, France.
No, thank you so much, Chair. South Africa welcomes this discussion because it really speaks directly to one of the GEO most urgent priorities at this moment. GEO will move only if regional engagements leads to real partnership, concrete collaboration, and effective resource mobilization, including national and regional coordination mechanisms. This will strengthen the sustainability of GEO and its programs, expand the opportunities for data, experience, and knowledge sharing, advance data integration, and further Earth intelligence that will enable us to respond more effectively to the full range of societal challenges we face today. Thank you, Chair. Just a comment.
Thank you. Mongolia, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. As you may know, Mongolia will host the 17th session of the Conference of the State Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia from 17 to 28 August 2026 under the theme Restoring Land, Restoring Hope. Is the host country and COP17 presidency, Mongolia is advancing the STEP action agenda is its proposed legacy platform for COP17. The agenda is designed as a long-term strategic framework to combat desertification and land degradation, strengthening resilience to drought and climate change, and promote sustainable development beyond the conference itself. It aims to connect policy, science, finance, and implementation by aligning fragmented efforts, scaling them into the coordinated landscape-level action, and developing investment 3D project pipelines with a strong focus on rangelands and waterland nexus and nature-based solutions for sustainable infrastructure. Our priority is therefore to make COP17 is a result-oriented conference, one that moves beyond dialogue toward tangible delivery by transforming global commitments on land restoration, drought, resilience, and sustainable dry land management into concrete action, bankable investment, and inclusive partnership. We are confident that the GEO community can play a strategic role in Mongolia's COP17 by bringing Earth observation data, digital tools, and scientific expertise to support the STEP action agenda, in particular through land degradation monitoring, AI enabling MRV systems, drought, early warning, waterland information systems, and evidence-based investment planning. In this way, GEO's participation would help turn COP17 outcomes into measurable, data-driven, and scalable implementation on the ground. The official COP17 host country website, launched on 20 April, can be accessed at UNCCD COP17.org. You can see on the screen. It serves as a central information platform for participants, providing practical guidance on travel, e-visa procedure, accommodation, transportation services, and tourist attraction, and Mongolia's national initiative related to COP17. We would be honored to warmly welcome the GEO community to Mongolia for COP17. Your active participation in the conference, its thematic discussions, and partnership platform would bring valuable support, scientific insights, innovation, and global experience to our shared efforts. We look forward to working together in a spirit of partnership and shared commitment to strengthen the science policy interface, restore land, build resilience, and carry forward lasting outcome beyond COP17 for people and the planet. I thank you very much.
Thank you to the Ambassador of Mongolia for this intervention. And it's very timely and relevant based on the discussions we just had. So moving on to France, Turkey, Colombia. Next.
Thank you, and thanks for this good news. I would like to share some information with you. France has supported the development of GEO worldwide, particularly in the following regions: Pacific. The Community of Geospatial 2025 project was the largest grant awarded by the Pacific Fund over the past 2 years and focused on implementing a long-term regional strategy centered on the use of geospatial data for sustainable development in the Pacific Oceania region. And in Central Africa, France has supported countries that have committed to country packages for forests, nature, and climate, in particular in Central Africa. And there's a One Forest Vision initiative, and in connection with the GEO work program, initiatives are developed in collaboration with local institutions, particularly in DRC, Congo, Gabon, Uganda, and Cameroon. The objective is to implement a digital transformation strategy for the conservation of forests and wetlands based on open science and capacity building. Thank you.
Thank you. And Turkey, next.
Thank you, dear Chair. I'll have 2 short announcements here also. As Turkey, we are preparing for COP31 presidency. So in this regard, we believe that Earth observation and GEO's collaborator ecosystem will become more important for climate resilience, climate action, resilience and sustainable development. In this regard, I would like to welcome all of the GEO community to collaborate for the COP31 process in Turkey. And in addition to this, in October, we will have another important conference in Antalya, in our beautiful city, International Aeronautical Conference 2026. So that will be a great opportunity to all of the space ecosystem and space community to become together again in our beautiful city. So I would like to all of the welcome to you in our Turkey in October. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for reminding us of all these opportunities for our members to advocate for GEO in this international fora. So next one on my list is Colombia, China, Ghana, Nigeria, and IAF, and I will stop with that.
Thank you, Chair. Colombia invites GEO members, participant organizations, and regional GEOs to take AmeriGeo Week 26 in the beautiful Guatemala as a unique opportunity to exchange demonstrations, pilots, and Earth observations capabilities. Central America is one of the environmentally challenged regions on the world and is an ideal ground to expand collective impact and advance GEO new strategic plan through regional integration, sustainability, and resilience. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm from China Meteorological Administration. In recent years, extreme weather events have become more frequent. As a key platform in global Earth observation, GEO plays an important role in supporting international and regional coordination to address climate change and disaster risk reduction. I would like to take this opportunity to provide a brief update on China's meteorological satellites. China currently operates 10 Fengyun meteorological satellites in orbit. Under frameworks such as the GEO and WMO, these satellites have supported 138 countries and regions worldwide. The Fengyun satellite emergency support mechanism serves 38 registered countries. Last year, China launched the Mazu early warning system, such as a national contribution to United Nations Early Warnings for All initiative. Powered by Fengyun meteorological satellites, Mazu provides integrated service for weather and space weather monitoring, forecasting, early warning, and emergency response. Since 2024, meteorological agents in more than 40 countries have accessed Mazu through the cloud. customers nation versions have been deployed in 7 countries. Funyun Meteorological Satellite provide overall support for multiple early warning systems through Funyun AI box. Moving forward, China will continue to leverage the GEO platform and use the module system to deepen practical cooperation. We are ready to strengthen scientific and technical exchanges, advance Earth intelligence for all, enhance disaster resilience, and support global sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you, China, for reminding of this important initiative, Early Warnings for All, that we share with WMO and other partners. Of course, would like to move to Ghana, Nigeria, and IIF next.
Okay, so Ghana is happy to hear of the new commitments and wish to say that local institutions' ownership is key, and as a result, Ghana is also looking at local resources, and we are also currently exploring that issue with Zimbabwe to see how we continuously maintain the postgraduate program for the GEO-LDN. Thank you.
Very interesting. Thank you, Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Nigeria is very happy to report partnership engagement for experience and knowledge sharing for Earth intelligence. In addition to our satellite infrastructure, we are partnering currently with the China Africa Cooperation Center on satellite remote sensing application for access to satellite images over Nigeria. Through this program, we have developed various use cases in precision agriculture, water resource management, and disaster management. In addition, we are working closely with the European Union to implement the Earth-based innovation agriculture project in Nigeria. This project is to support our farmers with climate-smart information system for precision agriculture that will enhance crop yield for our farmers. Thank you.
Thank you. And International Astronautical Federation, please.
Thank you. Distinguished speakers, dear colleagues, thank you for this highly insightful discussion. What clearly emerges from this session is that the future of GEO lies not merely in participation alone, but in genuine action-oriented partnerships capable of delivering tangible impact. From the perspective of the International Astronautical Federation, this transformation is already well underway within the global space community. We are witnessing a growing recognition that space-based data must go beyond accessibility. It must become actionable, scalable, and locally relevant. In this context, I would like to reaffirm the continued commitment of our federation to advancing international dialogue and cooperation on climate-related space applications through its flagship events, the annual International Astronautical Congress and the IEF Global Space Conferences. On behalf of the International Astronautical Federation, I must inform you that unfortunately, it was officially announced a few days ago that the IEF Global Space Conference on Climate Change, CLOC 2026, under the theme Uniting Space and Earth for Climate Resilience, has been postponed until further notice. After careful evaluation, we consider that postponing CLOC 2026, originally planned for next week in Kigali, Rwanda, is the most responsible course of action to protect public health and collective safety in light of the evolving international public health situation. The well-being of our participants and health security remain IEF's highest priority. The critical discussions on climate change will, however, continue to remain at the forefront of the international space agenda and will be prominently reflected during the 77th International Astronautical Congress, the IEC 2026, taking place, as was mentioned before, from the 5th to the 9th October 2026 in Antalya, Turkey. By convening experts across sectors, disciplines, and regions, IEF aims to strengthen exactly the kind of enduring partnerships that GEO is calling for, transforming Earth intelligence into meaningful real-world impact. We warmly invite GEO members and partners to engage with us in this collective effort to bring their priorities, challenges, and solutions to IEC 2026. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So many opportunities for engagement. You heard, I hope you can follow up on these. So with that, I want to thank you, speakers, participants for the excellent discussions and interventions, for the very concrete commitments and opportunities for collaboration shared today. We heard through this session that is, Earth intelligence creates impact when it is connected to sustained cooperation, regional coordination, and real investments in implementation. So GEO provides the space where all these elements can come together. Lastly, I want to make an announcement, a personal announcement as well, because we are a big, lovely, messy family sometimes. And today I want to recognize someone who has served GEO with great dedication and commitment and who will soon be retiring. Dirk, thank you for your leadership and support as Germany's GEO principal over the years. It has been truly a pleasure working with you. And please join me in wishing Dirk all the best for his next chapter. Okay, now coffee break. Let me just remind you that the next session will be a closed session. We're going to go into plenary business, so for official delegations only, but pretty much you are already here. So thank you again. Enjoy the break.
Thank you.